Don't gamble on your brand. Branding methods to stand out in a saturated market.
This is one of your products, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Can you describe what's on the table in front of you?
I think it's fantastic. It's fun, it's unique, it's beautiful.
So this is a unique product.
That's correct.
Here's one of your competitors. Here's another one of your competitors. Now, to me, that just looks exactly the same.
So, to me, they don't look the same.
They're identical.
It's hand-packed.
That won't make any difference to the consumer.
I think the bow on the top adds to the value of it.
So it's the bow.
So it's the bow. This is very similar to what we're seeing in the iGaming today. Many platforms, many providers, many aggregators, many affiliates, many payment providers. Some are good, some are less good, some are awesome. But imagine this, among this slide, there is one of them which is fantastic. Great technology, great people, great sales team, but it's very hard to spot, isn't it? How can you tell what it is in among of this? It's sitting right there, somewhere in the mist. So we just learned the number one and probably most fundamental concept of branding, that you have to find ways to stand out, which go beyond your product and beyond the tech that you have and beyond your sales team. So why is this important? Well, the iGaming global revenue is set to hit 100 billion by this year, with an 8% steady growth from 2020. There are 550 new games launched per month. Some studios are launching weekly new games. And in Sigma Malta alone, as you can see, we have 6,500 affiliates, 5.5K operators, 1,000 exhibitors. So you start to get the picture, right? There are tons of us, tons. So the need of branding is proportional to this equation. The more a market is saturated, the more your product is similar to the others, the more you need a good brand, the more you need good branding. So why should you care? Why should you listen about branding? Why someone like me is able to pay rent? Well, these are some fun brand stories. Diamonds aren't forever, and they're not even that rare. Lobster were given to the prisoners of war. Harley Davidsons are not that great bikes. Tesla was not the first electric car. Apple did not invent the PC, the smartphone, or the smartwatch, among with many other things. Santa Claus was green and scary before Coca-Cola. The swastika was a symbol of peace before Hitler. Champagne, it's sparkling wine from a specific region. And caviar was once given to Russian peasant. Branding, it's not about the looks. Branding changes the way something means. It's about the meaning. Everything you said and connected with Italy, that's the brand. The flag is the branding. And let me explain this a bit further. A brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or organization. And I am the brand. My accent, the way I look, the way I perform on stage will give you a perception of myself. That is my brand. Another way of seeing it brand through the brain of Jeff Bezos is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Branding is the process of managing that gut feeling, and usually happens through design, through messaging, and through customer experience, right? One is the emotion, and the other one is the management of that emotion. So when we're talking about branding in the iGaming, what are we talking about? We are talking about 5 key concepts: name, logo, distinctive assets, messaging and storytelling, and last but not least, positioning. Let's go a bit deeper. Naming It's about being memorable, relevant, and reflective of your positioning. Do not listen to your grandmother when she was saying you do not judge a book by its cover. You do judge a book by its cover. That is true. And the cover, in branding terms, is the name. Now, unfortunately, there is this belief that we need to use this combination of words to create a name in the gambling industry, in the branding industry. It needs to have bet in it, or a number, right? But imagine if all car manufacturers in the world had car in their names. How could you stand out, right? So when a name is made up by a combination of these words, you get very forgettable brand names. And in Sigma, it's really true. We are bombarded with flashy boots and like big brands, but when you go back home, it's so hard to remember that. You have to take notes and pictures because it's very undifferentiated. So it starts from the name. Then we go to the logo, right? The logo is the flag of Italy, you remember? There is no flag like Italy. The job of that flag, the job of that logo is to be distinctive, unique. Italy has that flag and no other country in the world. So when we're talking about your logo for your business in the iGaming, if you're using any of these, you're not branding. You're hiding. And then we talk about distinctive assets, unique elements that create immediate brand recognition. And again, help me out because this is a second game. When you see this, what comes into mind? Guinness. This? You're hired. And actually, the Coca-Cola bottle, the brief was a bottle so distinct that you could recognize it by when it felt in the dark or lying broken on the ground. And this is a design brief of 1915, and the bottle is still in life. It became so iconic. It was strategically designed. Come on. Anyone? KFC. Well done. It's finger-licking good. Last but not least, Sigma, which is one of our clients. We were the one behind the last year rebranding of Sigma. So, and then we have point number 4, messaging and storytelling. Everyone is a leading platform nowadays. Is a leading provider. Is a leading community. How many leadings can there be? In the Olympics, you have 3 positions, and gold gets the leading. Right? So it's not about saying it. And then the largest portfolio, win big, win often, is not about saying it, it's about them perceiving it. And again, if we are using this type of messaging and storytelling, again, we are not branding, we are hiding. We're hiding in the sea of sameness. Last but not least, there is the positioning. How the brand is placed in the minds of your customer, or even better, in the minds of your ideal customer. If I say red car, I promise this is the last game and I'm going to let you go after. If I say red car, Ferrari, very well. If I say energy drink, Red Bull. Second, third, no one remembers the second and the third. Fridge? I got smacked because I'm a bit of a design freak. Vacuum cleaner? Dyson. So these brands, for some reason, manage to position themselves in top of mind when you have that recollection with that specific category. No one cares about the second position. The third position is gone. Fourth position, you shouldn't have it. It's a waste of air. You need to find ways to be positioned at top of mind. When the demand arises, you are the supply of that demand. So going back to what we were saying at the beginning, one key takeaway that I want you to provoke you and I want you to have marinate in your mind is that if everyone is zigging, you should zag. If they're white, you should be black. If they're loud, you should be quiet. It's very simple. Branding is about being completely different. I don't know how many of you read this book, The Art of War, which is a great book. And one of my favorite quotes is, "The greatest victory is the one that requires no battle." So we can map all companies in the world into this diagram. And starting from the bottom right, bottom left, is not good and is not different. It's a complete waste of oxygen, right? That you should not even consider being in there. Then you have different brand, but not good product. And to me, I'm thinking about Temu, right? When you order something that got your attention into Temu, comes to you and is shit. You will not order it again, right? So you can be different, but if the product is not good, again, not a good place to be. And then you have good but not different. Everyone sits in there. Most of my clients told me, I have the best product in the world. No one knows about it. I have the best product in the world. No one understands it. Because it's so saturated and it's so competitive that is a battle, it's very hard and it's very expensive to win. And then we have good products and different brands. That's where you kind of want to be, right? You deliver on the promise, but you also are memorable. We like to think that we are that smart, but in reality, our brain did not evolve that much from when we were a slightly upgraded version of monkeys. We are still hardwired to notice what is different. Back in the days, we were seeing something moving in the bushes, and we were thinking, oh, that's danger. We were seeing an attractive partner, and we were saying, oh, I want to have a family with this partner. We were seeing a red mushroom. That mushroom must be poisonous. We are still exactly the same type of brain. So I want you to think about this when you're building your brand. But then the next question is, how do you get there? Yeah, thank you very much, Martin. All beautiful words. But how do you get there? In terms of building a brand, it's pretty much like building a house. If you're building your family house, you wouldn't start from the roof. Or you wouldn't start from the color of the facade or the color of the door. You will start from a good foundation, a good blueprint that will make that house safe for the next 30, 50 years for your family to be raised and live inside. From the brand strategy, you have a control system that controls everything else that you do, from sales to hiring to marketing to everything. Everything goes back to that control system, which is your brand strategy. And remember, the more saturated a market it is, and the more undifferentiated your product it is, the more you need to invest into a good brand to stand out for the sea of sameness. My name is Martin Zarian. I'm the founder of Factory 39. We'll be at booth 1015 if you have any questions. And we are the ones behind the Sigma and the Wicked recent rebrand. Thank you very much.
Wow. Martin, I have to say, that's probably the best keynote I've ever heard on branding.
Thank you.